Cybercrime is on the rise, and hackers are getting smarter every day. From phishing scams to ransomware attacks, criminals are after your devices and your money. So how do you fight back? One of the best defenses is solid antivirus software. It blocks suspicious websites and stops hackers before they can do any damage. A healthy dose of skepticism when opening emails or clicking links doesn't hurt either. But for the antivirus help you need, I trust and recommend Total AV. They update you in real time, keeping you protected from the latest threats. Go to protectwithkim.com now and get Total AV for just $19 for the first year. It covers up to 5 devices, including Windows, Macs, and smartphones. That's protectwithkim.com. Don't wait until it's too late. Your security matters. Get protected now. Go to protectwithkim.com for my exclusive deal with Total AV. Just $19 for the first year. That's protectwithkim.com. 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 Sign up for my free daily newsletter, The Current, at getkim.com. So as you know, Andrew, I read every single note that we get from our listeners and viewers. Every single one.
Not just the letters. You read the comments. You read everything.
Everything. Because this way it keeps me in touch with what's going on. So like, for example, I recently got this note from Jennifer in Beverly Hills. Now, we all know that Beverly Hills is a really expensive place to live, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Jennifer's notes, I don't know, it just struck a chord with me. And I'm going to try to read it as if I were Jennifer in Beverly Hills.
Ooh, this should be an inspired performance.
Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
My dearest Kim, I am so in love with you. Now, darling, I'm in desperate search of a wearable, a darling little ring that reflects my deep love for all things bright, shiny, breathtakingly expensive, and unmistakably gold. This gray, nameless, manly text simply will not do. Surely, Kim, you must know something truly worthy of gracing my most exquisitely expensive, attention-deserving fingers.
Oh my gosh. What?
She's looking for a wearable ring, and she doesn't want to wear a gray ring.
So like an Aura ring or a health tracker, but she wants it to be fancy.
She wants it to be shimmering.
Ooh.
It should be gold. So, you can, as you mentioned, you get the Aura ring in gold. That's $449. There's another one called the Ultra Human ring, and that's $349. And of course, it's going to track your sleep, your fitness, your other stuff. Now, the Ultra Human does not require a monthly ransom. It will do all this tracking for free. Now, the Aura ring is $5.99 a month.
After you buy the ring on top of that.
Exactly. I mean, but really how uncouth it is for them to charge for that type of tracking.
Only gold, Kim? Nothing that's diamond plated or something made out of a metal that only is found on Mars?
Do you think Jennifer is Jennifer Lopez?
That would be awesome if she was.
Yeah.
Hi, J-Lo. Thanks for watching.
Yeah. So, J-Lo, if you're listening, we love that because, after all, you just tapped into the Current podcast, and it's kind of based a little bit loosely on the Current newsletter that 650,000 people start their day. It's just a 5-minute read, and you can sign up right now over at getkim.com because, after all, I'm America's digital goddess, Kim Commando, and joining me, as always, is Andrew Babinski, who's never uncouth. He's also the co-host of the morning show in Phoenix, Arizona on KEZ.
So does that make me couth? Am I always couth?
I don't know.
Is being couth even a good thing to be?
Jennifer. Okay. Hey, what do you have coming up?
We have investing. What age did you make your first investment?
12.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. Because as the generations are getting younger and earlier, they're investing earlier thanks to ChatGPT, and we're going to talk about it.
I was 12 and I bought stock in AT&T.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then I held it. I think I made like $4 a share or something like that.
Profit's profit, baby.
All right. We have a contest going on. Pay it forward contest. And so I'm going to give one person $500, and then they get to say, oh, I want you to give $500 to this person or this organization or whatever it is. No, Andrew, it cannot be you.
Man.
And so what you want to do is go to winfromkim.com. Once again, that's winfromkim.com. And just go ahead now and enter the Pay It Forward contest. It's really a lot of fun. All righty then. How about 5 things that you need to know what's happening right now in the tech world? And then I think you know what's going on in Rome, don't you, Andrew? The whole conclave?
What happened? Any
The
news?
Pope died.
Oh my God. Does everybody know this?
Well, did you see the pictures of people taking selfies with the Pope
I just
in the
can't.
casket?
I not only can't believe that happened, but that there was someone that went, yeah, that's okay.
I know. But then during the Pope's funeral, I think the AP showed a picture of various heads of states that were attending the funeral, and they were taking pictures of the Pope's casket. Like, okay, can we have some decorum? Can we put the phones away for just a nanosecond?
A little bit of if my children went to the funeral of their aunt, their great aunt, they wouldn't be able to bring their phones. It's a funeral.
No, they're just taking pictures. Like, okay.
But it's the Instagram era, man.
So I'm going to be talking about the security that's happening right now in Rome for the conclave and how they make sure that none of the secrets get out for these 130 odd cardinals and all the pat downs and all the jammers. Anyway, we're talking more about that. But here are 5 things that you need to know. We're going to talk, number 1, about hackers. That it used to be that hackers were relying on, say, false text messages and phishing emails. Well, they're upping their game. New research shows that they're coming through network edge devices. Do you
What's
know what
that?
a network edge? You don't know what that is. You kind of looked at me like, you gave me that goldfish look like,
Yeah.
what?
Explain, Commando.
They're slipping in through VPNs, firewalls, and routers. And so if you're not keeping your firewall and your router up to date, or you have like that stupid password admin123 that's published all over the internet, that's a bad thing.
Then
So
I'm
you wanna-
secure because I put an exclamation point at the end of admin123.
Excellent. So smart.
Yeah,
So
I
smart.
know. Pretty tech savvy.
Are you texting any nudes?
No, I'm not. Thanks for the question. You? Are you texting any nudes? Let me check my phone. See if you sent me a text. Nope.
No, that's one thing I don't do. Okay? I'm so smart. I'm so much smarter than doing that. Okay?
Never? You've never sent a
Never.
scantily clad?
Never.
What about like a seductive picture? Not even a full
Never.
nude. All right.
No, never getting, remember my husband had a heart attack. You don't get a,
You don't want to give him another one?
if someone's about to send you a spicy pic, you're now going to get a heads up on Google Messages and the option to view it or to block the sender. You'll get a reminder. Are you sure you want to? And then if you're going to be sending a racy pic, is that you're going to get a message. Are you really sure that you want to send this?
So that means that their technology, their software is looking at your image, they're understanding what it is, and then having to respond to that understanding by giving the warning.
Exactly. So Google Messages, you can go to settings and protection and safety and toggle that on or off.
Here's the worst thing that could happen to a guy. You take a nude picture and then you send it, and AI is like, well, that's fine. There's nothing to see there. Go ahead and send that thing on through.
Didn't you have a story about a doctor who was doing that?
Sending what? Yes, I did. You didn't pick for the podcast. And what was happening is there was this doctor who was secretly filming people. He was filming them in his home, in rooms of his house, in the bathroom, and in his office. And he got busted. He got caught, and they found all the cameras everywhere. And as he's trying to fight these charges, he's like, no. You got to understand, I have body dysmorphia. And the only reason why I was filming guys going to the bathroom is so I could compare my junk to their junk to see if my junk was normal junk. That's literally his argument.
Did he get off?
No, well, probably before they busted him.
All right, so you've been in a Waymo and you love them.
I love them.
Okay, what do you love the most about going in a Waymo self-driving robotaxi?
First of all, it's cheaper than an Uber, which is always a benefit. Second of all, it's the future. I mean, ever since I was a child, you'd watch the Jetsons and self-driving cars, and you're literally in 2025 driving across town, getting on freeways with a computer driving the car. It's just amazing. I'm in awe of the technology.
Well, now you could buy your own Waymo car.
How much?
You can buy it. They're not saying exactly the price, but somewhere between like $25,000 and $30,000. So you could have your own Waymo. Now, before you get all excited, it's actually a sneaky way that they're like getting rid of old inventory. And because these cars have so many miles on them, and they may not have like the greatest tires anymore, so they need new tires.
Okay.
And also, Tesla's coming out with their own self-driving taxis, and you could buy those in June, and they say that that's going to be 20% less the price of a used Waymo.
Okay, so I pull out the app, I drive into my driveway, I tell my car where it wants to go, I get in and it drives me there for 30 grand.
Yes.
Where's my credit card? Where's my credit card?
Well, no, you still have to pay for the Waymo somewhere along the way, but you could own the car.
What?
You could own the car. So anytime you needed a Waymo, it was right there in your driveway, but you're still going to have to pay a fee per mile. It's probably going to be less because you own the car, but you still have to pay for the service.
Well, then I have a response for that. I can just get a Waymo whenever I want a Waymo now. I don't need to buy the car.
I don't think so.
Ridiculous.
But some people would really like that. I mean, imagine if you had like a whole bunch of kids that you had to take to soccer, and then you would always have your car ready at your disposal. But you're right. You could just go ahead and get one on the app and not worry about anything. Apple has a new campaign out. This is interesting to me. They're saying that you need to get rid of a certain app on your phone. And they're saying to all 1.8 billion iPhone owners that you need to remove this app from your phone right now, this minute. And we know that probably 80% of you have it on your phone right now because advertisers are stalking your every move and they're hitting you with targeted ads because you have this app on your phone.
Which one?
Chrome.
Good job, Apple. That's smart.
They're saying, remember when Google promised to kill all the third-party cookies that track you? Yeah, not really. So if you want true privacy, you're going to use this Safari browser from us, and you're going to get rid of Chrome off your phone.
That's smart. That's really smart on their behalf. You know what I read this morning? It kind of made me laugh. It was just a headline that said Yahoo plans to bid for Google Chrome. Yahoo has that kind of money?
I can't remember the last time I even went to Yahoo.
Well, I do fantasy football, and Yahoo's fantasy football app is really good. We like it. So we use it every single year, but that's the only time. I hate when I have an old subscription or an old service and it's like, oh, you got to change your password. Go to your Yahoo address. I'm like, I don't even know how to get into Yahoo anymore.
Yeah, you're such a Yahoo. Microsoft is rolling out Recall. You know what that is? That when you are on your Windows PC and you have Recall turned on, it keeps track of every single thing that you do. Anything that you search for, anything that you type, anything that you look at, every single thing that you do, so that this way you can search your so-called memories later. What do you think? You can turn that on?
Every single thing that I do?
Every
Not interested.
Those embarrassing searches, right there.
Not interested.
Right in your memories.
Next story. I don't even want to make eye contact with you right now.
And finally this. I saw the video and I thought, this is interesting to me. Jeff Bezos is behind a new EV truck called Slate.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, it has no touchscreens. It has no tech. no colored lights, no self-driving tech, no cooled or heated seats, no stereo. And I know you're going to be shocked by this. It doesn't even have a cup holder. Right. Starting at under $20,000, including incentives. It's two-thirds the size of a Silverado EV, and it has a payload capacity of 1,433 pounds, and I don't know what that means. But the range is 150 miles.
Oh, that's not enough.
So the way that you do it is that you can convert it from a two-door to a five-seater SUV if you're feeling crafty.
Well, think about this way. It's like the Lego of vehicles.
Yes.
You can get the base model truck that only seats two people for under 20 grand. But then if you need more seats, then you add the SUV package. But then you really do want a screen because you like having the GPS. So then you add that. And then you add the tires. And then you add the radio. And by the time you do all your adding, you're going to be the same exact price as a Chevy Colorado.
You forgot the paint.
Oh, yes, you can wrap it in any other color that you want.
You can do that.
Now, the one thing I'll give them credit for though is that they have these like basically Lego spots throughout the car that you can modify and add things whenever you want. So if you say, I'm going to buy the base model now, and then I'm going to save up, and in a year I'll get the screen, and then in a year I'll get this and that. That's kind of cool. Makes it a little more affordable.
It is. I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10 for innovation because I do like the whole Lego idea, but I would never buy one.
Wait a minute. You're giving it a 10 out of 10 for innovation. But when the Cybertruck came out, that was innovative. And
That's ugly.
poo-pooed it.
It's ugly. It was ugly. It's still ugly. And I was, Ian told me that a lot of high school girls, he told me this a while back, a lot of high school girls really wanted a Cybertruck. And I don't know where it was, but a Cybertruck full of like 4 girls, high school girls, crashed and burned, and the girls couldn't get out.
Oh, gosh.
It was just a horrible, horrible story.
Right.
And so, but with Cybertruck, I never thought it was pleasing to look at or to get in. I mean, have you been in one?
No, I've never been in one.
Okay. It's you feel like, I don't know. It's just feels cheap. Feels like it's not manufactured well.
I have a 10 and a 7-year-old, and they took a ride in a Cybertruck with their aunt, and they said it was really cool on the outside, but when they got in, it was just like sitting in a car. It was no big deal. They thought it was going to be like futuristic inside, and it wasn't.
Not at all. So this Slate EV, now they're taking pre-orders. It's going to be, it's interesting to me where transportation is going. I mean, so we have the Waymo that you can buy, put it in your driveway, self-driving car. You've got Teslas, that is like a whole nother issue. Now you've got Jeff Bezos with Slate. And then we also have the Chinese EVs that they won't let in the United States that have superior technology to anything that we have.
And more affordable.
And more affordable. And, and I'm sitting here with my G-Wagon, loving it. So that's just the way it is.
One of the smartest apps you can have on your phone in 2025 is Upside. Upside gives you the power to earn more on the stuff that you buy all the time, whether you're filling up your tank, going out to eat, or shopping for groceries. The Upside app lets you earn cash back on every purchase. Upside users are making as much as $280 a year. The free Upside app gets you cash back on daily essentials like gas, groceries, and dining. Download the free Upside app and use promo code KIMK to get an extra 25 cents back for every gallon on your first tank of gas. Personally, I love using Upside to get cash back when I go out to eat and try new restaurants. With Upside, cash back is always just right around the corner. Download the free Upside app and use promo code KIMK to get an extra 25 cents back for every gallon on your first tank of gas. That's right, the free Upside app. Download it and use promo code KIMK. Get an extra 25 cents back for every gallon on your first tank of gas. The free Upside app. Promo code KIMK. Oh, remember the internet's good old days? When it was a place where you could be free. Unfortunately, now we go online knowing we are being tracked. Our internet providers can see our entire browsing history. And here in the United States, they're legally allowed to sell it. That's why I use ExpressVPN. It's a virtual private network that reroutes 100% of my online activity through secure, encrypted servers, shielding it from prying eyes of my ISP and other third parties. It hides my IP address, the number identifying me online, so I can't be tracked. My online history is actually mine again. It's so easy to use that your entire family can figure it out with just one tap. ExpressVPN works on all your devices, up to 8 devices at once. Let's return to the good old days of online privacy and freedom. Get up to 4 extra months of ExpressVPN for free at expressvpn.com/Kim. That's expressvpn.com/Kim. Alrighty then, so what do you got?
So you said your first investment was at 12 years old. And
Yes.
you bought stock. How did you get involved or even find out as a 12-year-old in investing?
My father worked for United Airlines and my mom worked for Bell Labs. And there's quite an age spread between me and my siblings. I have 2 sisters, 2 older sisters and a brother. I was that child who was like, oh, look, we're having a baby.
Oops a daisy.
You know? And so how it worked is that my mom would take me to school on her way to work. And then my dad would pick me up from school because my dad went to work at Newark Airport because he worked for United, as I mentioned. And then around 3 o'clock or 3:30 every afternoon, we would go shopping, food shopping. We would make dinner. But there was one thing that he had me do that at the time I was like, oh, God, do I have to do this again? Is that he would make me read the Wall Street Journal. And I started reading the Wall Street Journal was probably about 8 years old.
Wow.
And at that time, there was a way that you could fold it into 3. So like if you were on the train or the bus, that you could actually read the Wall Street Journal. So every day I had to read the center story, which is now called the A-head, which is like a funny thing that's happening in the world. And then he would ask me about how our stocks were doing. So I would have to go in, because remember, this is paper.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to go look at AT&T, look at the ticker symbol, see where it was. And so that was part of just my daily routine. So that was how I bought. He gave me money to buy AT&T stock. I bought United Airlines. I had, I want to say like General Mills or something like that. And so that's how I got interested in the stock market. And then with Ian, what I do is I give him, we have a contest, a family contest, where everybody gets a certain amount of money. And then for 6 months, whoever wins gets the other people's money.
Oh, wow.
And so, and we're talking like big dollars. And so like we just did one. Our most recent one was from August of last year through February of this year. And Ian had $5,000 and I had $5,000 and Barry had $5,000. And so whoever wins gets the other 2 people's $5,000. So, my $5,000, I got up to, I think like $7,000.
That's not bad in like 6 months.
Barry got his $5,000 to $4,200.
That's not up. That's actually down.
And Ian got his $5,000 to about $40,000.
That's better than 7.
Okay.
So he won.
Yes. And the way that he won, and now I know his secrets, because now we have another one getting ready to kick in, is that he goes to a website called Quiver Quant. And that's QuiverQuant. And he looks at all the insider trading.
Sure.
And
the politicians.
Politicians see what Nancy Pelosi's buying or whatever. And if this CEO is investing into this, or this guy's selling all of this. And so that's how he puts together his portfolio. But now you're saying that the kids are using ChatGPT?
Yeah. So there was an article that was written where it was talking about the age of investors, and that Gen Xers usually were typically starting to invest in their mid-30s. Now, this is into the stock market. We're not talking 401k or anything like that. Directly going in money into the stock market. And that millennials, they had trended younger, and they were in their mid-20s when they were investing money. And now the Gen Zers are investing starting on an average of 19 years old. And the article looked at a lot of profiles of young kids who started investing in cryptocurrency at 8, 9, and 10 years old. And they're currently 15, 16, 17 years old. They were doing it through their jobs as, cleaning other people's yards or mowing lawns or working at Taco Bell or Christmas money. And they would use ChatGPT to find out where they should invest their money. They were using it to look at trends, explain what the trends are and where they would go. And these 10-year-olds are running these simulations when it comes to their investments with ChatGPT, and they're all making money and reinvesting it.
I never thought about using ChatGPT for that.
I
Maybe
didn't
that's
either.
what I should do.
Uh-oh.
We're
going to be in trouble. We're going to need a new microphone in studio, and Kim's going to be like, we can't. I lost all my money investing in GoPro 4. ChatGPT told me so.
So what I did, Ian won, and after he won, that's when he was explaining to me all the different stocks that he bought and everything like that. So then there's one stock, I'm not going to say what it is. There's one stock, and he's like, Mom, just put money into this one stock. And I'm like, are you sure? And so as of today, I put the money in a couple of weeks ago. My portfolio is up 10.27%.
Whoa. Just that one stock's up 10%?
Yeah. That's
impressive.
I know. But I tried to explain to him, what all goes up doesn't always work that way. I mean, he just, it's just not always the way that it works. You can always have bad news in the stock market. You have good days, you got bad days.
Sure.
Like Northern Tissue, it touched a new bottom and thousands of investors were just wiped clean.
Oh, God. A toilet paper joke? Really?
I mean, helium was up.
Was it up?
Fluorescent lights dimmed in light trading.
All right, we got them. We got your jokes.
Knives were up sharply.
No one invented knives.
Pencils lost a few points. Hiking equipment was trailing.
It was trailing. Now stop it.
Mining equipment hit rock bottom.
How many of these do you have?
Diapers remained unchanged.
That's horrible.
Oh, gosh. I got one more. The market for raisins dried up.
Oh, it's all dried up.
Oh, man. All right. Well, let's switch gears. Let's talk about the Pope.
Okay.
The Pope. And what's going on. So the conclave, that's when all the popes get together and they decide on who's going to be the new Pope. Sometimes it can last weeks. Sometimes it can last months while they're all deciding. One time in, I think it was the 1200s, the conclave lasted 3.5 years.
That's
Wow.
a bit much. You think you could come to a consensus in, a year and a half.
Okay. And if you haven't seen, it's on HBO Max, The Conclave.
Great movie.
It's actually pretty good. It kind of goes through how it all happens.
But the ending is ridiculous. The ending is, the whole thing is fiction. And the ending's this big shocker twist, whatever. It's a Hollywood movie, But if the process that they show leading from point A to point B to point C is even 80% true, it's really interesting.
It is, because you see how these cliques are developing and how they're trying to amongst themselves and people are vying for control and power. It is super interesting. But let's talk about the tech, because basically it's a Tom Clancy level on espresso. Because in 2005, that's when the Vatican first told the cardinals, no flip phones, please. So they had to leave all their phones outside. But now it's basically this whole squad, the Vatican police, is that the moment that the doors close, as they flip on, broad spectrum signal jammers, and it kills everything. Anything from an old school radio to 5G to whatever signal that might be out there. And so Wi-Fi's dead, Bluetooth's dead, nothing works. It's like technological dust. But before the Cardinals even get in there, they scan the whole place for any type of bugs that may be left there. The handheld wands that will sniff any type of hidden circuits, spectrum analyzers, and then they sweep the Cardinals, looking at anything from rosary beads that could be hiding camera to maybe a pinhole in their glasses. And so the Cardinals have to go through this one area where they get scanned. And then when they go into the next room, they get scanned again. And then when everybody's in place, the whole room gets scanned a third time.
They don't trust these guys?
I was kind of thinking the same thing.
These are high-ranking people in the Catholic Church, like the top 3% of the church. And the upper echelon is going, well, obviously we can't trust John. He's definitely going to bring in a camera. That guy loves attention.
And then all the windows where they are located, whether it's in their sleeping quarters or where they're actually making the decisions and listening to the various speeches from the other cardinals on what should be, all the windows are covered with a Tempest-rated laminate. And so that this way, when they look out the windows, it actually appears to be like a gray film. But when you are standing outside, it's a black mirror that's reflecting out at you. And the reason for that is that they don't want any drones snapping any pics on the inside. We have satellites that can read license plates.
Yeah.
They don't want to have any type of videos that AI could say, this is exactly what they're saying, reading lips. And so it blocks 99% of all visible light and all IR as well, infrared. Okay. So what if you're a cardinal and you go like, I think I just want to open the window to get some fresh air. Well, that sets off all kinds of alarms. And so the moment that that window seal is broken, anywhere these cardinals are located, is that also will set off a whole bunch of alarms. It's a lockdown. And so the Vatican City is only 0.17 square miles. It's super tiny. It's about the size of a small 18-hole golf course. That's about it. Okay. Now, underneath St. Peter's is a command center with 650 4K cameras recording every single thing all the time. They have drone jamming guns. They've got rifles. They have an RF cone. They have counter UAV radar. It tracks anything with propellers. So when you see the pictures of the Cardinals, I just want you to remember all this stuff is going on around them to make sure that nobody spills a secret.
Yeah, but then they just come out and tell us who it is like an hour after it's done. They put up the smoke and then tell us.
White smoke, black smoke.
Right.
White smoke, black smoke.
It seems like overkill.
Well, I don't know. It's a centuries-old tradition. I think it makes sense that they keep to this tradition and you don't have somebody posting on Instagram, I think it's going to be Peter,
But centuries ago, they didn't have all this stuff and they were able to name a new pope. We survived. We pushed through.
Exactly. Well, I think it's going to be, there's 3 Peters. I bet you it's going to be Peter of Rome.
Okay.
And Peter was right underneath Pope Francis. And of course, I'm a Catholic, so I'm betting. I mean, not that I bet, but you know what I mean. I'm betting that, although people are betting, okay,
yeah,
people bet on anything.
Not in America, but yeah, in Ireland and other parts of the world, you can absolutely bet on who you think is going to be the next Pope.
So who do you think is going to be?
I don't know. I like that pizza guy. Isn't there a guy whose name is Pizza?
No, that's another Peter.
I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I just don't know the name.
All right. So When I was coming back from Paris, I was standing behind Kanye West. It was very exciting for me.
What, did you even recognize him?
No, I didn't know who he was.
Someone had to point out to you that it was Kanye West?
Ian did.
Yeah.
Ian's like, that's Kanye West.
Okay.
And that's his wife. And his wife is really small. From all the pictures, I always thought she was tall, but she's not.
The new one?
Yeah, the new one, not Kim Kardashian.
Bianca, I think her name is.
Yeah, something like that.
I think they're splitting up.
Oh, no, really?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No. Sad about that.
Now, when you saw her, was she dressed? Because most of the time when they would go out, she would wear no clothes or see-through clothes or just have like 2 Band-Aids over the top of her chest.
Well, we were going through customs getting back to the United States, so she was dressed.
Oh, good for her. Well, yeah. Kanye West decided to jump into the world of streaming over the week, and he went on Twitch. He started and launched his channel, Yeezy Streams is what it was called.
Of course,
at its highest point, it had 220 followers.
That's it?
Well, hold on. Slow down. Because he got canceled. His show got taken off of Twitch. This is Twitch, too. This is the internet. We're not talking about ABC, your local affiliate. He was on Twitch. He got taken down after 6 minutes and 35 seconds. And when they took down his broadcast, they sent him a letter saying he had been temporarily banned for going against the community guidelines. And then later, he was banned from Twitch for life after 6 minutes and 35 seconds.
Okay, what did the Yahoo do? What did he do?
So I decided, for the good of the show, I would go and watch the entire broadcast. Now, again, it was only 6 minutes and 35 seconds, so it wasn't that big of a commitment. He started out by saying that he wasn't anyone's assistant. Like his wife, former wife, Kim Kardashian, was the assistant to Paris Hilton. That he had always been the man and not the assistant. And that imagine if he would have had sex and kids with Paris Hilton, how many hotels he would own. Then he moved on to the Jewish people, where he said that Jewish people are no longer going to treat him like a playground. And then he did the Heil Hitler.
You know, he's not mentally fit.
No.
I mean, there's something wrong with this guy.
He wasn't done. He then started talking about Mace and how Mace is another rapper. Tried to get like $3 million off him from the church, and he loves Mace as a rapper, but he wasn't going to give him any money. And then he talked about how he wore a pink shirt, and he didn't want to look like a homophobic slur in a pink shirt. And he still was on. He wasn't banned yet. And only 220 people are watching. And then he said he liked Elon Musk because Elon Musk gave him the platform to say whatever he wanted. And then he said a bunch of things in a rapid fire order that were all real bad. And that's when the channel got taken down.
Okay. Thank you, Kanye.
So now also, though, there's another thing, is that this guy's a billionaire. I mean, Yeezy shoes and his music and his brands. He's got a lot of money. His entire Twitch stream was him standing in an empty room with what seemed to be just cell phone cameras and cell phone microphones, talking on speakerphone to his co-host. And that's what he decided to be. He put no production value into this at all. So I think because of the lack of effort, that he knew he was going to go out there, say outrageous stuff, get kicked off of Twitch, banned for life, but still make headlines and get all the attention.
That probably is it. I mean, what was that one thing that he said? He was the greatest musician ever known to mankind.
I'm sure he says that every single morning when he wakes up and looks in the mirror.
I'm like, what?
This is an interesting bit of trivia. It's the last CD I ever purchased, like physical CD. The last physical music I ever purchased was Kanye West's College Dropout.
Okay.
That was the last one. Do you remember the last physical media you bought? Well, you buy physical media all the time. What am I talking about?
No, I don't.
Yeah, I thought you had your 950 CD changer.
Yeah, that's true. I do have that because because the system in the living room requires CDs. Others, I can't find anything to listen to on Tidal, and it only works on Tidal. And Tidal is a bunch of rappers, and so just for giggles, we were making dinner the other night. I'm like, oh, let me put on some music, and Barry's like, oh yeah, please do. So I'm like, I fired up Tidal, and I'm like, what do you think?
Not your bag?
No. And I was pretending like I was like, dancing and singing to it. And Bear's like, crap off.
What doesn't Kanye West own Tidal as well?
I think that was Jay-Z.
Oh, I thought they owned it together. Maybe they owned it together.
I don't know. Maybe they do.
See, you're a big
fan. On that happy note, let's go ahead and pitch the contest one more time. We forgot to tell people to subscribe, like, follow.
Oh, yeah, exactly. If you're watching on YouTube or if you're just listening wherever you listen to podcasts, please subscribe to the podcast. We're over 100,000 on YouTube. And if you subscribe, then every time we go live or drop a new video or new reel, you'll get a notification, a little bell that shows up, tells you when we have new content, and it helps out the algorithm so more people get to see the show.
And don't forget to enter to win the contest, the Pay It Forward contest. I'm going to give you $500, and then you're going to tell me who else deserves $500 so you can pay it forward. And then that person is going to love you forever. Go to winfromkim.com. Once again, that's winfromkim.com. Winfromkim.com. I mean, after all, elevators rose while escalators continued their slow decline.
Another stock joke? It was like 15 minutes ago.
I just want to see if they're paying attention.